All right, bought some Retrofit LED lights to replace existing ones. You can kind of see the bulbs are in and out. They're kind of all over the place from that standpoint. So just wanted something flush, more uniform. Currently there's LED Part 30s in there, but based upon how some of these are recessed, the light's not as broad as it could be. Some are sticking out, even though they're all the same bulbs and the same fittings. Don't know why. But here's one of the new ones. Looks really nice. So got these at Menards. They're about $7 each. 75 watt equivalent. Only uses 10.2 watts, but the most important thing is it's almost 1,000 lumens, which is pretty bright from that standpoint. Now these are pretty easy to install. Like I said, they're a retrofit. So if you already have a can, first thing you want to do is to measure the opening with the light fixture out. Now in this case, I've got this ring around. I needed to remove that to get the true flush opening. So in my case, the opening was about like 5.5. So this particular one says it fits 5-inch or 6-inch. I can tell you straight out of the box. This is configured for 6-inch right here. So if you try to put this into an opening that is less than 6 inches, it won't fit because the screw sticks out on both sides and it prevents it from going in and sitting flush inside the compartment. So with this particular unit, you just remove this particular Phillips screw and move it up here for a 5-inch setting. This allows it to go in and sit nice and flush. Now, if you've never done one of these before or seen these, up inside of the hole, there are these brackets, kind of like this. And essentially what happens is you got to put these wires inside those brackets on either side, and there's 2 of them on either side for those springs. So you put one spring like right in there and it holds it, and that's what causes the compression to keep it in place. I'll try to record that and show that to you. Now this is a super simple retrofit because all I have to do is just screw this into the existing outlet that's up there. That's it. No wires to cut, nothing to worry about getting electrocuted or having to hire an electrician to do from that standpoint. So super easy from that standpoint. So again, this is just a retrofit. I'm just taking out the existing bulb, the existing enclosure, and to replace it with this particular unit. Nice, clean, and flush. Gives me a nice, broad, even amount of light. And we'll get up in the ceiling, show you how to take one out. All right, here we are up here. First thing we're gonna do is remove the light bulb. And of course, turn the power off. Now in this particular case, I didn't turn the breaker off. I just turned the light switch off because I'm not gonna be cutting any wires or anything. I'm just gonna use the existing light switch that's in there, okay? From that standpoint. Now, when you're removing this, excuse me while I bring that down there, when I go to pull this off, you'll see that the socket stays in there. There is up on the top, and I'll show you here in a little bit, how you remove the socket out of that so it's just free hanging. Remember I talked about the springs being situated in here like this? That's how you would compress them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you right now, but right there. See that? That's where the spring has to go. There's 2 of these, one on this side, one on the other side, and these rod springs have to sit inside of those grooves, and that's what gives it compression. All right, so you're gonna have to reach up in here, if you can see me do this. Just take one and kind of push it inward, and it'll free itself. And then you go to the other side and do the same thing. Now you might be able to pinch both of these think doing them one at a time comes a little bit easier. Oh, this one's a little bit different. There we go. And one more. There we go. And you can see how that all just kind of hangs there. Now, how you get that socket out is right here. See these black tabs? There's one on either side. What you do is just push that in on one side. Kind of tough to do with one hand, I apologize. Push on the other tab. And then your light will just shimmy, scooch on up. See if I can show. Come on. That's being a little, there it goes. So then you just push those black little switches and voila. Now it's free. And there you go. That's the original. We'll take that down. And then let me show you that right. Oh, all right. Right there's those little clips where your two springs have to sit inside. Okay. And let me go get another light and I'll show you how to put one in. Okay. Here we are. We got one screwed in. I didn't think that was important for you to see. I think screwing in, just like screwing a light bulb, pretty simple, straightforward. Just wanted to show you the repositioning of that spring. Remember, we talked about if you've got an opening that's less than 6 inches, you got to move the spring from this up to the top there. It doesn't require a whole lot of tension, just enough to keep it kind of taut in place. It might move around just a little bit. And again, what you're going to do is you're going to slide this thing up there and you're going to press these in so that they go into that bracket right there. Now I'm going to stop here for a second because it requires 2 hands to do this, and I'll come back before I set it completely in place. Okay, we've got the light in place, and just want to see if I can show that to you right there. See those springs right in there? There we go. Sorry. But you got to push that in there so that those springs sit in there. And then just make sure you shove the wires around a little bit so they're out of the way, like that. And then once everything's in place, you just, boom. And there you go. Everything's in place. There's the 2 I did. And let's come down, turn the lights on. Much brighter than previously. You can see nicer look compared to when we first started. Now, when we first did this, I will tell you this particular light was more white like that one. I'm going to be replacing that as well. The pure white 5000K temperature light really dulled the look of the wood. Gave it more of a gray, just dull look. And then when we looked over here, it's nice and vibrant and rich, that yellowish tone. So that's what we went with. These are the 3500 bright daylight, which is, I believe, 3000K lights. And it really just makes the cabinets appear with that golden, really rich color. We probably would have gotten used to it, but just sitting there staring at it, I just couldn't get over it. I was just like, as much as I like bright white light, it really wasn't doing any favors for the wood tone color. You kind of get an idea here. See that spot right there in the shadow? It's kind of like that, but bluish and grayish, just really dull. Did not give us that punch, that vibrancy that the yellow lights go. So again, you can get them in a 5000K supposed true daylight, not daylight corrected. That's something for any of you artists out there, photographers. They're not daylight corrected. They were just 5000 degree Kelvin to mimic the temperature of outdoor light. So I don't want anybody saying that, oh, 5000 is daylight correct. No, I'm not saying that from that standpoint. So we opted again to go with the 3000 bright white, yellowish, and looks really good. Super simple. Hope that helped you. And again, it's a pretty simple project. I've only been mucking around for 10 minutes and I've done 3 lights. Take care. Okay, retrofit done. Can tell you, kitchen is much brighter than it was. And again, going with the 3000 Kelvin degree, kept the cabinets looking more golden and definitely more vibrant and rich. But yeah, total time to do the whole project, maybe 45 minutes, an hour at most. But yeah, there you go.